guys, Mauro here. We're gonna go through some basic steps on the forehand. The easiest way to learn the forehand when you're just beginning, when you're a beginner, I want to go through some steps that it's a easy way to remember. One thing that you want to pay attention to when you're just starting to play, and this is pretty much that it should go to from beginner, intermediate to advanced, is don't pay attention to your shots. Don't pay attention to don't give it too much importance to the ball, to where the ball is going, because what that's just gonna do is that you're just gonna focus on the result. You're gonna be focusing more on what's happening outside your bubble instead of paying attention to, okay, do the things right inside your bubble, to focus on your footwork, or you're doing the right technique on your forehand, doing it the right way instead of paying attention to what's happening if I do it the right way. So paying attention to the result is pretty much the ego and the desire to control. So you want to stay away from it. And again, like I said, that's something that is pretty much extends to intermediate and advanced players. But that's something that we'll talk some other time. All right. So the first thing you want to do is let's say you're starting the forehand here. You got the right grip, which is like shaking hands with the racket. An easy way to remember that. Now, what I'm telling you, what I'm going to show you here, this is not something that is written on stone. This is something that you're going to start with it, and eventually, just like any player, and just like we do in pretty much everything, when we're starting on something, they teach us the basic, the essentials of it, and then eventually, as we're becoming better, we start adjusting it or customizing to the way we want it. Okay, but let's starting with the easiest way, the easiest way to start for working on that forehand is, you can, if you're right hand on the strings, grab the racket with the left hand, right hand on the strings, slide it down and grab the racket. You're gonna end up kind of shaking hands with it. That's basically the right grip you want to use. And like I said, eventually you might adjust it a little bit, a little more close, a little more open. That will be up to you. But basically, that's the easy way to remember. That's how you can start. Okay. So once you got the racket ready here, don't worry so much about the whole swing, like you see people going all the loop around, down and up. No, you can stand. What you can do is you can stand. If I have my foot right here on the line and my left foot, what I want to do is I can start. My left toes are going to be more or less aligned with my right foot heels. So if you notice, I'm kind of in a 45-degree position. I'm a little open. I'm not completely open. And you do not want to be forcing to completely facing sideways 90 degrees. No, imagine that you go 45 degrees. Like I say, this foot, if you point to the side with the right foot, this one will go, just get into the heels more or less, give or take. Don't bring it further away here this way, crossing over the heels. Try to keep it here, a little further back is good. Somewhere around there, you're good. Now, once you're in this position, this is what we call the semi-open or 45 degrees. Okay, this is easy to turn the whole body and then go around. So this is a pretty good position to stand, and this is the position that eventually you're gonna try to use on most of your forehands. Okay, so don't worry about the big loop. If you're having trouble with that, I usually just start. Okay, once you get the racket here, bring the racket back. An important thing that a lot of pros don't pay attention or don't tell their students is, when you bring the racket back, point with your racket towards the back fence, but you wanna cock the wrist, meaning it's like showing the butt cap to the front. Many players start and they don't cock the wrist, they just go straight. So this is important. This is one of the three things that I'm gonna ask you to remember on the forehand. The wrist. Just cock the wrist a little bit, so you're gonna notice the angle that you have with the right angle and racket. Okay. Now, let's say you're ready here. You start low. From here, you swing forward, and the second thing I want you to remember is the coin. Keeping the coin in the racket. Imagine that you have a coin in the racket here, on top of the racket. So when I swing forward, when I make contact, I want to keep the coin in the racket. I don't want to drop it, meaning I don't want to open the racket or I don't want to close it. See, that's something that a lot of That's one of the most common mistakes that you're gonna see. It's not only beginners. You see on people even on advanced, that are not on advanced or intermediates. Is that they don't really pay attention to the position of their strings, so they hit, and many times that racket is open or that racket is too close. Eventually, that is gonna change. You're gonna work with that when you will start putting spin on it and stuff. But that is a little too advanced for now. So don't worry. For now, just think. Okay, so I want to cut the wrist contact, and when you make contact, just keep the coin in the racket. Keep the coin in the racket, and when you make contact, you want to have. If you notice, my chest and the strings of my racket are square pointing forward. That's perfect. That's the boxer position. That's the contact. That's where you have better, more power, more spin, more whatever you want to put on the ball. Okay, so wrist, swing. Don't let the racket go crazy. Just keep the wrist steady, not choking the racket. Just steady enough so the racket won't be wobbly when you make contact. At contact, you want to make sure you have the strings facing forward. That means I'm keeping the coin in the racket. And the third thing you want to do is when you make contact, freeze your head on the balls. That's what I call hitting solid, hitting clean. If you see Federer, go and check the pictures of Federer hitting balls, and you're gonna see always he hits and he ends up looking at the background. He doesn't follow the ball right away. He doesn't hit and follow. So that helps in three things. The first one is you're gonna make sure you hit that ball always clean with the strings, always clean. At least you're not going to miss hit. And just not mishitting is going to give you a good chance of making the shot. The second one, when you don't follow the ball, you don't move the head, you don't throw off your body. It's not off balance. The head is heavy enough to throw the body off balance, and that's something that also can mess you up, make us miss-hit the shot. That's the second one. And the third one is when you're looking at the ball, ready, freeze. So you're following the trajectory of your ball, and you freeze your head. That kind of keeps you focusing on the trajectory of the ball, incoming ball, and freezing your head at contact so you don't follow the ball right away. That means your head, your computer is working a lot less. You're not trying to fill all the blanks that, okay, do this, do that. See, all the things that many times we're trying to tell ourselves to pay attention to, that in the end ends up being too much. It's an overload of information. No, you getting out of the way of your body, and you're just allowing the body to pay it to do its job. And what you're doing there is pretty much your job when you hit the ball, which is two things: the footwork and the eyes. The footwork eventually, when you start hitting, moving, and the eyes on the ball, that is gonna be your job. Everything else is gonna be part of the body, but that happens only until you have been playing for a while, and it becomes not. People say muscle memory. It's not really muscle memory. It's brain memory. It's subconscious mind memory that it does that, and the body just serves like it just flows with the mind. Just go, okay, relax. Just do it like that. Okay. An example is when you're driving your car. You really don't thinking too much. You have been driving for how long, and you're not really thinking, okay, I'm gonna make a right. How much should I turn? How close to the curb am I gonna go? How close to the sidewalk am I gonna drive? And you don't need to pay attention to all that stuff. And that's not really muscle memory. That's your mind. That's your subconscious mind memorizing. When you get home and you know where all the switches on home, you let's say you go to your house, and your house is all the switches are off at night. It's dark. But you know you can walk into the house, and you know the switch here, light, switch. You know where all the switches are. You don't have to look around because you already know where they are. It just happens natural. You don't have to think about it. So that's what happens when you freeze your head. You get out of the way of your body, and you just allow it. You allow your body to do the job, and you do your part again, which is the footwork and the eyes and you're looking at the ball, the eyes on the ball. So remember, the three things that you want to pay attention is the wrist, coin, and freeze your head. When you finish, get used to finish, bring it all the way here. Eventually, when you become a better player, there are gonna be different ways to finish depending on the kind of shot that you wanna hit. and also dependent on the incoming shot. Don't worry about that right now. Just wrist, steady, coin, and freeze. Okay, and you want to make sure you finish. Another thing, careful with the elbow. A lot of people finish here. No, bring it up here. Same thing is going to happen in the backhand, but we'll talk about that in another video. So just remember, guys, simple way to do it. 45 degrees, left foot more or less around the heels of my right foot. I'm ready here. Okay, hug the wrist, coin, and freeze, and just hit it and just finish here. Like I said, this is key, guys. Do not worry about the shot. If you want to mess up your mind, you want to pay attention to that. If you want to start planting the seed of being more of the player, okay, focus on what's happening inside your bubble. Focus on trusting your body, like Federer does, not following the ball. Believe me, you're gonna save yourself from a lot of trouble. If you do what happens inside your body right, the technique is good, the footwork is good, the shot will take care of itself. You start building a house, you take care of everything from the bottom, from the foundation, the way it's supposed to be. You know how at the end the house is gonna be the way you want it. It's not, nothing is gonna go wrong. You just gotta follow the instructions. Okay, so remember, focus what's happening inside your bubble here. You don't want to get your memory start working and getting in the habit of thinking too much. So rest, coin, freeze your head, and finish here. Okay, guys. Well, you have any questions? Anything that is going wrong? Anything that you want me to talk about or something? Let me know. Go to my comments. Okay, subscribe to my channel. Give me a like, and well, hopefully I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.